of the week. We want to make sure each and every one of you fine Guamanians out there can stay as safe as possible and do your part to make sure that Guam is a safe part and safe community. And here to ensure that is Officer Paul Tapau with Guam Crimestoppers. Officer Tapau, welcome back as always.
Alfred AJs, thank you for having us back again.
Okay, so I know this week, the crime of the week, we're talking about an auto-pedestrian incident. There seem to be a lot of those, and typically because it's out in the community, you know, typically on busy streets and everything like that, sometimes you'll find a lot of witnesses and everything. If you are a witness of a auto-pedestrian, what should you know about reporting it or maybe getting involved, helping and stuff like that? What should you know as a citizen?
Well, usually what we find is a lot of witnesses will render aid to the victim or to the pedestrian. Please, if you are there and you happen to witness it, take note of the vehicle, like what we mentioned in the crime report, the make, model, the color, which direction of travel, who was the driver, was the gender of the driver. It really helps with investigators. Being my tenure at Highway Patrol, we really depend on our witnesses. We can put the science and mathematical formulas down to reconstruct the crash, but an eyewitness who had seen the crash, was there, that's really crucial to our investigation. So they play a critical part in our investigation. Any type of criminal investigation where we need our witnesses, we need them right there. So by them taking the actions of just taking time to identify just the car, which direction of travel, the make, model, and color, the gender, who was the driver, and everything.
So try and corral all the information and then pass on. But first and foremost, you want to call 911, right?
Yes. Do as best as you can. Get a hold of 911. Tell us the direction of travel. I mean, if you notice that the driver of the vehicle is not going to stop, which direction they're headed to. Anything significant, such as the damage area, where's the damage that you might have seen, where, you know, based on the crash, you can give us that information. These are critical information that we can use because our responding officers, our dispatchers and our responding officers, they work well together. They give the information as the officers are en route to the scene. So it really helps out a lot if they can give us that much information.
Now, real quick, before we go to the actual report, everybody on Guam is a good Samaritan, and we want to help out, you know, like our neighbors and our brothers and sisters and our family. But if I don't have medical training, if I'm not an EMT, I didn't serve in the military, and I'm not a doctor, but I still want to help someone who might be hurt and I don't know, how involved should I get? Because, you know, I don't want to cause more hurt than harm, or more harm than hurt.
You can get involved by calling 911. Provide comfort and care to the victim. If you're not medically trained to perform CPR, if you're not a doctor or anything, comfort and care is always a great aid that you can provide. But if you have access to a telephone, you can stop traffic. You can make sure that the scene is secured or the pedestrian is safe and no further crashes will occur. You're making that effort, and you're actually providing the essential care that was needed to the victim until trained and professional first responders get there. Just what you witness, again, you can help the medics, the first responding medics who get there. They need that crucial information to provide the care, to make sure that there's no neck or, I mean, they treat the crash victim from head to toe, making sure that everything's in line. So if you can provide information how the body landed, how the pedestrian landed, how far did he fly? These are critical information that we need.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look at what have you got for us this week?
This week is the fatal auto-pedestrian crash that occurred on Route 14, Salas, San Antonio to Muning. On Sunday, the 29th of September, at 1:51 in the morning, officers from the Guam Police Department's Highway Patrol Division entertained a fatal auto-pedestrian hit-and-run crash, which occurred on Route 14, Salas, San Antonio to Muning by the Elite Bakery. According to the police report, the pedestrian, who was later identified as Riddle A. ESL, was crossing Route 14 Salas, San Antonio from the entrance to West Attorney Alberto Lamarena Street towards East Attorney Alberto Lamarena Street by Elite Bakery. According to the witnesses at the scene, as Riddle ESL was on the middle northbound lane attempting to cross onto the outer lane of Route 14 Salas, San Antonio by Elite Bakery, Riddle ESL was subsequently struck by a red SUV-type vehicle. Witnesses at the scene and further elaborated that the red SUV did not stop to make a check on Rito ESL, but continued motoring northbound towards Route 1421. Mr. Rito ESL was later transported to the Guam Memorial Hospital, where Rito ESL was later pronounced dead by GMH nursing staff. According to the witnesses, the subject red SUV-type vehicle might have sustained frontal damages to the front bumper and the hood area based on the collision. The Guam Police Department's Highway Patrol Division and the Guam Crimestoppers need your help relative to this auto-pedestrian crash which occurred in our roadways. If you have any information about this case, please call the Guam Crimestoppers at 477-HELP or text 688-STOP. You can also visit our webpage at www.guam.crimestoppersweb.com or call the Guam Police Department at 475-8615 6 or 7. Guam Crimestoppers wants to remind the public that we do not use caller ID and you do not have to leave your name. You can receive a cash reward of up to $1,000 if the information provided leads to the arrest and conviction for the person or persons responsible for this crime or any other crime.
All right, Officer Tapau, thanks as always. Once again, if anybody has any information or they have any questions about, what we talked about getting involved or like finding out, what they can and can't do or should and should not do, where can they call?
They can call the Guam Police Department. If they have any doubts, they can call the Highway Patrol Division, 475-8615. Just ask our operators to connect you to Highway Patrol Division. If you have any other questions regarding any criminal matter, feel free to give us a call at 475-8615, and we'll be happy to entertain that question. If we don't have the answers, we'll find it for you.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Week.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We will be right back after this, and please, Guam, stay safe.